So what made the Chicago Bulls a scary team last season? Was it their suffocating defense? Was it their explosive offense? Well, if you said both, you're absolutely correct. The Chicago Bulls dominated on both ends of the floor through the first half of last season. And today I'm going to break down why and what the surprising truth is about the Chicago Bulls for this upcoming NBA season. I'm Tommy, and welcome back to Hoops Respect. Let's hop into it. The Bulls came into last season with a major chip on their shoulders. DeMar had something to prove because he was called the worst signing in free agency, and Zach obviously wanted to prove that he wasn't just a bad team, good stats player like the media was always trying to portray him as. And Lonzo Ball, he was trying to get out of a small market in New Orleans and come to a big market and help the Chicago Bulls get back to the playoffs and get back to relevancy. And they obviously dominated the first half of the season on both sides of the ball. But we all know what happened. They caught the injury bug, and it really derailed what we had going on in the regular season. It's really no surprise that Lonzo Ball is so important for the Chicago Bulls. But on most nights, he's not going to be the number one, the number two, or even the number three option on offense. And while he's fully capable of dropping 30-plus points, he really plays an unselfish brand of basketball. He's really a pass-first, true point guard who's really looking to set up his teammates and help get in the transition to help everyone get into their offense, get into their flow. And, he's always willing to make the extra pass, even sometimes to a fault. Now, why do I think the Chicago Bulls' success really hinges on what Lonzo Ball does this season? Well, as you know, the Bulls roster is pretty solid in terms of both young, growing talent and all-star level vets. I mean, we've got Zach, DeMar, Vooch, Pat Will, Caruso, Kobe White, Ayo Dosunmu. We added Goran Dragic for backup. We added Drummond, who's going to help on both offense and defense in terms of rebounding, which is something we definitely needed last season because Vucevic was really our only true rebounder, and he's not as good of an offensive rebounder as what Drummond can really provide for us. Now, we all know the Chicago Bulls are going to be able to score the basketball. Zach is going to be in probably one of his better years, coming off of one surgery for his knee, having dealt with the hand injury for a good deal of last season, as well as just being fully healthy and ramped and ready to go. Adding new things to his game in the offseason. We saw him working with his trainer and adding a lot of new things to his game, trying to improve. Plus, he's a new father, so I definitely think he's going to take a major step coming into this season after getting that big new contract. Lonzo really adds another element to this team. That's really why I think a lot of the success that the Bulls are going to have this upcoming season really hinges on what Lonzo Ball does. If he comes back healthy, if he's able to have the same level of impact or even better level of impact than he was having last season on both ends of the floor, with spacing, with being able to shoot the three-point ball more than 40%. I mean, the Chicago Bulls were one of the worst three-point shooting teams last season. And, the second half of the season, we definitely could have used Lonzo's ability to score the ball and space the floor to really be able to help them in the open space and in their half-court offense. Now, something I really noticed with Lonzo is his ability to really amp up the defense and ramp up his teammates on defense. You can notice this with Caruso too. When Caruso comes onto the floor, the defensive energy just changes. But when you have both Caruso and Lonzo out there at the same time, it's just a completely different animal with those two. And you see everyone on the court stepping up because they don't want to be left behind. They don't want to be the reason why the defense isn't doing well. So having both of those players on the floor at the same time, or even one of them, really changes the tempo of the defense and the tempo of the whole game. Now, obviously, you guys have probably already seen the news. I know I'm a little bit late breaking this story, but I want to put it into a full video as to why I think this is a lot deeper than just, the Bulls missing their point guard. Lonzo's a very big, vital piece to their team, and the news we saw earlier this week was about Lonzo's offseason rehab and about his knee. Now, this comes from both Ramona Shelburne and Jamal Collier. They broke a story on ESPN on Friday afternoon, which said Chicago Bulls point guard Lonzo Ball will miss training camp and is doubtful to start the regular season because he still has pain and discomfort in his left knee, and he's going to undergo further evaluation from the team. And this is directly from the ESPN article. You can find it on ESPN.com. While a source reiterated that Ball's knee is structurally sound after he underwent arthroscopic surgery on January 28th, he continued to experience pain while attempting basketball activities as he spent the summer rehabbing in Los Angeles. Ball will arrive in Chicago next week to undergo further evaluation by the team, but he's unlikely to participate when the Bulls begin training camp at the end of this month, sources said. Throughout the summer, the Bulls have remained vague about a potential timeline for Ball's recovery, while he has seen multiple knee specialists to determine the cause and treatments for the lingering pain and discomfort, sources said. He's getting better, but probably not at the speed we would like, Bulls Vice President Arturas Karnisovas said in July during a broadcast from one of the team's summer league games, but he's getting better. When Ball suffered the initial injury in January, the Bulls announced an initial recovery timeline of 6 to 8 weeks. However, Ball's injury never responded to attempts by the team to ramp up his activity for a return to the court at the end of last season. Now, obviously, we know this is a major deal for the Chicago Bulls, a major blow, because Lonzo Ball is so important in both their half-court offense, their transition offense, being able to space the floor, and being a defensive ball hawk. And I saw this on Daniel Greenberg's Twitter. He was talking with Dr. Evan Jeffries, the owner of Evolving Motion Physical Therapy in San Diego, a sports injury specialist, about Lonzo Ball. He said, "I'm concerned on why the pain is still lingering this far into his recovery every time he is ramped up." Dr. Evan Jeffries mentioned Kendrick Nunn as a player who missed a whole year because of a deep bone bruise. He said that's when the pain and discomfort does not go away. They might need to add a second surgery. If Lonzo is structurally sound, there are some good non-surgical options. So that's definitely some good news coming from Dr. Evan Jeffries, hearing that there are some non-surgical options if his knee is structurally sound. Now, obviously, this would definitely tie into why Goran Dragic was signed and why he was promised so many minutes coming out of free agency. As you might remember, it leaked that the front office promised him in between 20 and 25 minutes per game. I know a lot of Bulls fans were concerned when they heard that they had signed Goran Dragic and then that he was promised so many minutes in the rotation, because we have such a log jam at guard, especially if Lonzo Ball is fully healthy. So it led to a lot of speculation that Lonzo Ball may not actually be healthy to start training camp and to start the regular season. And it seems like the front office probably knew this ahead of time, and that's why they decided to sign Goran Dragic and decided to promise him a good amount of minutes going into the season, because obviously we needed that Lonzo backup. We still have Io, we still have some really good talent on this team, but Goran Dragic is still a vet. He's still a pass-first point guard. He can score the basketball if he needs to. But obviously, this isn't the Goran Dragic from 3 or 4 years ago. This is a completely different Goran Dragic, and the last 2 seasons, he really hasn't played up to his, normal expectations. It really seems like Goran might be on the downslide, which definitely isn't boding well for the Chicago Bulls in the interim, while potentially losing Lonzo Ball to start the season. So what does the Lonzo news mean for our younger players? Well, truthfully, we might see a good amount of Dalen Terry just kind of not start the season, but he may be able to start to crack the rotation, especially if he can add some scoring, some spacing, and some defense. He can definitely find a role with Billy Donovan in this coaching staff, because we really need some good defense and some spacing to be able to kind of not, fill the Lonzo void, but be able to help while he's out and while he's still getting healthy. So what do you guys think? How bad is this news for the Chicago Bulls? What do you think the timetable is going to be for Lonzo to return to the court? Do you think it's going to be, before game 1, or do you think it's going to be sometime around Christmas or after Christmas? Personally, I think we're not going to see Lonzo until after the new year. I think that he's going to end up having to go through a lot more rehab and spend a lot more time nursing that injury. I think it may even be like 1 full year between him leaving for that injury and him coming back to the court. I think it might be in that, late January, early February timeline, which, that really sucks. It definitely hurts, the first half of the season. But hopefully Lonzo can come back healthy and he can come, back the second half of the season, join the Chicago Bulls, and help us get ready for a playoff push. Now, if you like this Hoops Respect video, please smash that like button, make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you in the next Bulls video.